into how nearly 200 ballots went uncounted in last year's presidential election.
Maribeth Witzel-Bell had been on leave from her post since March amid the ongoing state and city investigation into the uncounted ballots. WEC Chair Ann Jacobs.
I am genuinely troubled by the number of profoundly bad decisions that are recited in these materials.
City Attorney Michael Haas has been serving as acting city clerk since last month and told WTMJ transparency will be key going forward for the position.
Sometimes mistakes are made, but the key is that we need to be transparent with the public.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A Waukesha teen accused of murdering his parents may have had larger plans, including the assassination of President Donald Trump. An FBI search of 17-year-old Nikita Kassip's home and phone found a self-described manifesto regarding assassinating the president, making bombs, and terrorist attacks. ABC's Don Mihalik tells WTMJ's Morning News it's too early to tell how serious of a threat existed to the president.
Any threat is taken extremely seriously and has to be vetted and handled. As we saw with the Pennsylvania governor's attack over the weekend, threats against President Trump and other elected officials are spiking these days due to a lot of division within our political sphere.
Kassip has not been federally charged. He returns to court in May. The Trump cabinet is getting to work with dozens of the nation's global trading partners after the president issued wide-ranging tariffs.
President Trump's top economic advisor, Kevin Hassett, said Monday the administration has what he calls very good offers on trade deals from more than 10 countries. Hassett provided no details on what countries are involved and what the deals could look like. He said the president will decide when he's satisfied and when he wants to make an announcement. But Hassett insisted the progress so far has been, quote, astonishing. The administration put in place a 90-day pause on steep tariffs to allow for these kinds of negotiations. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Time for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green. Dow up more than 1%, up 470. S&P 500 up 1.2%, up 66. NASDAQ up 1.1%, up 188. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time approaching 2:04.
It's the biggest door in your house. Time to give it the attention it deserves. Vince Vitrano here talking about Lifetime Door Company in Brookfield. Updating your garage door increases the value of your home. It's the first thing people see, and it's the best return for your money on investment. At Lifetime Door, if you have an emergency, they'll come out 7 days a week to service existing garage doors and openers. 5% off any service or install at Lifetime Door Company in Brookfield. Get started now, 262-783-4004, lifetimedoor.net.
Hi, I'm Rose Gray with Fox World Travel, and I'm excited to share that our exclusive guided Alaska land and sea journeys are now available for 2026. We partner with Holland America Line to curate the best and most sought-after experiences to Alaska. We send hundreds of travelers from Wisconsin to Alaska every year, along with experienced Fox tour managers for peace of mind. Don't just picture Alaska, live it. We have limited spots, and these tours are booking fast. Visit Fox World Travel online or call 866 Go Fox Go.
This wasn't how Patrick here in Milwaukee pictured himself in retirement. Instead of playing golf every day, he could barely walk because of severe knee pain.
It hampered everything because it hurt to walk around the golf course. It hurt to swing, just pretty much hurt doing anything.
But the groundbreaking regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics changed everything for Patrick. QC Kinetics uses your body's own healing properties to help repair and restore damaged tissue in your knees, hips, back, and shoulders. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
The turnaround's been amazing from where I was to where I am now. I've gone from a 15 handicap down to a 7 handicap. That's because my knees allow me to play golf like I haven't been able to play probably in 15 years.
Don't let joint pain keep you from doing what you love. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Pain can make you feel like no matter what you try, it's not going to work. Or it can make you try any and everything. And most times, that'll make you feel like you've been taken for a ride. It's hard to believe that there's a solution to your pain problem that works, is safe, and is actually affordable. But that's why most insurance plans pay for pain treatments from Rejuvenex, because they're FDA approved and they do work. Toradol and hyaluronic acid work together to substantially alleviate your pain. And we've seen patients experience pain relief for greater than 2 years after completing a series of treatments. Is it a one and done? No. But at as low as $65 per joint? It's an affordable alternative to surgery. And it's not an expensive cross your fingers and hope it works experiment. Especially for older pain sufferers, the pain treatment that Rejuvenex offers is worth trying because the vast majority of patients who do live better lives in a lot less pain. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All sports desk. NBA insiders report the Bucks optimistic that All-Star guard Damian Lillard will be cleared to play the playoffs. Game 1 of the best-of-7 series against the Pacers tip-off at noon on Saturday. And the Bucks enter the playoffs having won 8 straight games.
I do think we have great confidence in each other. Our guys, they like what we're doing. We have a lot of confidence, and I think that's the key going into the playoffs.
After dropping 2 of 3 against the Diamondbacks in Arizona, the Brewers return home for the first of 3 against the Tigers. Brewers starter Brandon Woodruff is scheduled to make his second rehab start Thursday. Coverage of tonight's game begins following the 6 o'clock news right here on WTMJ. Let's take a look at your roads through WTMJ time saver traffic. 794 East at I-94 East. The right shoulder's blocked because there's a disabled vehicle. Everything else looks good. Beware that tonight the wind gusts increase. It's going to be breezy. Both hands on the wheel.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mine Shaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The Mine Shaft Restaurant Easter Sunday brunch is all you can eat and under $25. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. Check out your table. Reserve at mineshaftrestaurant.com.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Wet snowflakes possible tonight. Windy with a low of 38 degrees. Showers tomorrow morning. It'll be sunny and breezy with a high of 50 degrees. Sunny Wednesday, a high of 49. Chance of thunderstorms Thursday night. The high will be 57 degrees. And a chance of showers and storms Friday. The high will be 65. Right now in Madison, it's 56. Waukesha, 61. Milwaukee, 57. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 2:08.
It's time to take a spin around Wisconsin and find stories you might have missed. Here's Spinning the State on Spanning the State with Kristin Brey.
All right, we only get to spin the wheel today and tomorrow because if you've missed the news, the lineup is changing on Wednesday. And so we only have a show and a half left of Spanning the State. But we're going to make the most of it. So let's spin the wheel. Marshfield. All right, so I grabbed this story because a week ago, I was at a friend's house, and they live in River Hills, and their dog, they've been collecting the ticks from their dog. They only had 2, so it's not really a big collection yet. But there was one that was like sizable. It was smaller than a dime, but not that much smaller than a dime. So now I want to send them the story and be like, you could put this, instead of it just sitting in a Ziploc bag in your junk drawer, you could do science with this tick. Because in Marshfield, health researchers at the Marshfield Clinic are once again collecting ticks found across Wisconsin. So this was a study that began last year. They started the Tick Inventory via Citizen Science Study. It was designed to identify the ticks that were found across the state to ascertain whether new invasive ticks are moving into Wisconsin and to delve into details about how they spread disease. So receiving more ticks will mean more species data, but this year the scientists are also expanding the kind of information they are asking people to contribute. So people who send ticks to the research team will be asked if they are taking any precautions to avoid ticks and if they have ever been diagnosed with a tick-borne disease. Last year, more than 6,000 ticks were sent to researchers from nearly all these 72 counties in the state. The ticks were sent voluntarily to the research team, and then the clinic provided tick collection kits to people who requested them, and then the volunteers then returned the kits. So about 70%, so 4,200 of the ticks returned to the team were just wood ticks, known as the American dog ticks. The majority of the remainder were deer or black-legged ticks. Both species are commonly found in the eastern half of the United States. But the team also processed ticks less common to Wisconsin, including Lone Star ticks and brown dog ticks, which are more prevalent in warmer climates. So if you have a tick that you've been holding on to, or you want to know what to do with it, if you dig one out of yourself or a dog or another animal, you can request free collection kits, and you can send them directly to Marshfield. And so you need to email ticks, but it's spelled TICS at marshfieldclinic.org, unless it's a typo. It feels like it should be TICKS, but in the Green Bay Gazette, which is where I got this story from, it said TICS at marshfieldclinic.org. So I don't know. If it bounces back, add a K. That's my solution there. All right. Let's see where else we are headed.
Milwaukee.
All right. So back on New Year's, I was one of the many people who stopped by. I was not there for hours, but stopped by Victor's during its 24-hour party that was their last hurrah after their 60-year run. But now they have been bought, or it has been sold, however you want to frame it. The former home of a longtime downtown Milwaukee bar, Victor's, has been sold for $1 million to an area real estate investor. So the building, obviously it's on Van Buren, if you've ever been there, is now owned by a group led by Greg Kastenholtz, who is president of the New Berlin-based Poblocki Paving Corp. He told the Journal-Sentinel that at this point there are no plans. This is what Tom Dakin wrote up, but no plans for what they're going to do with the building yet. And the investment had nothing to do with the paving company. So I guess we will have to see what happens. I have to imagine that they're not going to just refurbish the building and they're going to knock it down and build something new. But I don't know. But it was originally listed at $1.7 million, but Millie sold for $1 million. So took a little bit of a haircut. That's it. So we'll see. So we'll see what happens to Victor's. But Victor's that was a great party. I did get sick from it. I think that's where we got sick. Remember, I got
like a stomach flu, right?
I think stomach flu. Yeah, I think it was from there. I guess I can't say for sure, but
who knows?
Who knows? It was one way to go out. All right, when we come back, it is 414 Day. I have been collecting some of your texts on what you love about Milwaukee. Feel free to send more in. 855-616-1620. Study Unlimited, WTMJ Talk and Text Line. I'm going to talk about why I love Milwaukee. We're going to talk about some of the things that are happening. We're going to check in with the newsroom. Stay with us on Spanning the State.
The leader in the dugout, the skipper, the man who riles up the crew with his words of inspiration.
You mean my old ass? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, that's our guy. Brewers manager Pat Murphy joins Wisconsin's Morning News every Tuesday at 8:45 for Brewers 360.
We're a team that the other team's going to feel us. You know, you're not going to walk away from a series and not be felt. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With spring in the air, a young man's fancy turns to ceiling fans. And at BBC, he'll see all the best quality fans and their newest styles. The new fan electronics provide a great method of moving air, and with LED lights, they use less electricity than ever. We have fans in all sizes, from 24 to 96 inches wide, and their motors are warranted for life. At BBC, we advise you on the right fan for your needs, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. We're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday 10 to 4 and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Heiser Automotive Group is making it rain with ultimate savings. It's our April shower splash sale, and we're washing away high prices so you can drive off in the car of your dreams at an unbeatable price. Enjoy our exclusive Safe and Sound experience where peace of mind comes standard, rain or shine. Plus, check out our seasonal service specials to keep your vehicle ready for every spring adventure. Hurry, these savings won't last long. Visit Heiser.com today and drive away with a deal that'll have you singing in the rain.
Dealer for complete details.
Hometown love is what we're made of. You and me made it this far. Love this city. Who can blame us? For one for you had my heart.
I was waiting to see if this was a specifically Milwaukee song, Rhea. What is the name of this song?
It is called 414 by Grace Weber and then featuring Moody. And I'm in the music video.
You're in the music video. Are you dancing?
I am dancing. It's a little bit.
Can we set this up so people can talk and text line in and see you dancing in this 414 day?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. I want to see it at least after the show. Okay. All right, it is indeed 414 day, Milwaukee's official holiday celebrating all things Brew City. We have special food, drink, and merch promotions all happening all over the city. There's a lot of play on $4.14. You can get into a lot of, I think the Domes is off as a $4.14. I know different people have different subscriptions you can get. If it was $5 and now it's $4.14. There's a lot of different things going on. But joining us on the phone right now is Elizabeth Littinen from the WTMJ newsroom. She's been out and about all day finding different things. Elizabeth, where are you right now?
Hi, I'm down at the Deer District. There's the 414 Day Festival happening from 2 to 8 down here. And it's just starting to ramp up. The energy is really good. There's vendors, food, clothes. There's basketball. We have the Milwaukee Hitters playing. They're a community drum group, and they're playing from pretty much all night. So, yeah, it's really exciting.
The Milwaukee Hitters. They're a drum group?
Yeah, they're a drum group. They've got high school kids. They've got community members. And, yeah, they were kicking it off, and then I think they're going to start playing in just a few minutes here. Maybe you'll be able to hear them.
Okay. All right. Are the Dancing Grannies going to be making an appearance at all, you think?
I am not sure about the Dancing Grannies, actually. I'll have to get back to you on that one. But
okay.
I would hope so.
And then for is the basketball hoop, is there actually organized like a game of horse happening, maybe a game of lightning, or is it just kind of the balls are out there for anyone to go out and shoot around if they want?
I think it's like a shoot around. There's some sort of organized game happening in a little bit here, but for now it's just a shoot around, and it's exciting to see.
Well, maybe I need to ask Brandon Snide to meet me out there so I can officially prove that I can beat him in horse. But so then, how many? So is it pretty packed? What's the weather? Because we got a pretty good weather today, huh?
Yeah, it's gorgeous outside. Just windy, super windy, but pretty warm, sunny. Not packed yet, but more and more people are showing up by the minute, so that's exciting. I'm seeing families. I'm seeing, different people of all ages, really. I mean, it seems like there's something for everyone, so that's exciting.
What kind of food options do you see?
I'm seeing some barbecue. I'm seeing some, ice cream. I'm seeing some treats. Some of the restaurants seem to be opening up, so that's exciting. Just a bunch of different stuff.
Perfect. All right. And then earlier today, there was a fashion show inside the 3rd Street Market Hall. What was that about?
Yeah, there sure was. So that was the MCTS fashion show to show off their new merch line. The models were exclusively MCTS employees.
So this is the transit line. This is like the transit line came out with merch.
Yes, the Milwaukee County Transit System came out with their first line of merch ever. It was designed by Brianne Miller. She's the graphic designer of MCTS, and she's been there for about 6 years. It's also the 50-year anniversary of the Milwaukee County Transit System, so they thought this was the perfect time to do that.
Very cool. Is there anything that sparked your, caught your attention that you're like, maybe I would buy that?
I would buy their crew necks. They have some really good crew necks here. They use the bus to make the letter A in Milwaukee. It's pretty good stuff. It's available online now, I think.
Okay, and so was it a full-blown fashion show? Was there music and a runway and models?
Yeah, no, big stage. County Executive David Crowley modeled some
did
merch.
He pose his best Zoolander?
He did poses.
Blue
they all
Steel?
had their own. They all had their own song picked out, and there was probably 20 models too.
Anyone else you recognize besides David Crowley?
No, I think everyone else was an MCTS employee.
Oh, okay. So less recognizable. But all right. Anything else after Deer District that you're going to go check out?
I mean, Deer District, I think, is going to take up most of my afternoon here. It seems like there's a lot to see and do. So
very exciting. Well, have fun. Can't wait to see what you report back with.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. From the WTMJ newsroom, Elizabeth Littman. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the origin of Milwaukee. Well, if it's true, Milwaukee Magazine a couple years back published the history of 414 Day. And it's a lot more random and simple than you maybe think it is. And then I'm going to talk about why I love Milwaukee so much and maybe read a couple of your texts. So if you want to text in why you love Milwaukee, 855-616-1620, citing unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. We'll be back after this.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Brewers baseball is the sound of summer in Milwaukee. And now you can catch the Brewers on local TV for select Tuesday night games.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she
It's Brew Crew Tuesdays. On April 15th, the Crew take on the Detroit Tigers at 6:40 p.m.
Swing. He went. Another strikeout for Freddie Peralta.
This Brew Crew Tuesday is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. See the action on Fox 6 in Milwaukee and check your local listings for where you can watch over the air statewide on April 15th.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. For a limited time, enjoy exclusive seasonal rates starting at $139. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at amazonbusiness.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. By having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
So how is that possible? 1.9% real estate commission? There must be something you're not telling me.
I hear that a lot. The truth is, everybody could do it, but they choose not to because folks keep paying more than they have to. I guess they just haven't heard yet that Century 21 Benefit Realty can make that 1.9% real estate commission promise on the sale of your home and stick to it. So I'd like to think that's going to make your decision easy. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
I should do we should reenact this.
I have to catch up on what the show actually is, but yes, I would love to.
You don't know what Laverne and Shirley's about?
I know now because of our show, but I did not know before this.
That doesn't surprise me. Because did you grow up watching Nick at Night at all?
I did, but it was right before, my time was the Cosby Show and George Lopez.
They put George Lopez on Nick at Night?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I remember the first time I checked in on, because I grew up watching Nick at Night. And it was Mary Tyler Moore Show. It was Dick Van Dyke. It was Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie. And those feel like a bigger time gap. Like my childhood in the 90s and those shows feel like a bigger gap as a throwback than your age and the George Lopez show.
Yeah. I mean, George Lopez was closer to me in my late teens. That's where I got
that doesn't feel like an old show.
Yeah.
Compared to 50s and 60s I Love Lucy playing in the 90s.
They also had Cheers and Roseanne.
Yeah, all 80s and 90s shows.
Yeah, that was my
I remember
Nick at
watching,
Night.
I remember seeing Fresh Prince on Nick at Night. And I was like, wait, what? Or whatever the channel was they spun off when it was not just Nick at Night anymore. And it was actually its own channel. But yes, I've always wanted to do some kind of like not remake, or find some kind of sketch comedy thing to do with Laverne and Shirley. One, because that's a great song. And two, obviously it takes place in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
It just feels like it's very ripe for some comedy throbback. But it's 414 Day, so that's why Rhea was playing that song. And I looked up because obviously we're going to be here, so I was not going to be able to partake in many 414 Day activities, and I didn't get to do anything yesterday either. But I wanted to look up the history, and this was in Milwaukee Magazine a couple years back, and so I'm guessing this was in 2021. So I'm guessing it's accurate in that they did their due diligence, but it's basically texting between two brothers. So it was early in spring, obviously, and it was in 2009, and there was a guy named Andy Silverman who was just texting with his friends about making 414 Day into a thing. And so the following year, they filmed a silly video explaining how to celebrate 414 Day, which then obviously became known as Milwaukee Day. And then that made it onto the news. And so they thought maybe we should start having real events and make it into a real holiday. And it kind of just went from there. And then eventually by 2012, they asked then Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett to officially proclaim April 14th as Milwaukee Day, and he obliged. And then similarly, in the same fashion, then County Executive Chris Abele later issued a proclamation designating April 14th as Milwaukee Day as a county. And here we go. So now we have the large 414 flag that gets flown outside of City Hall all week. We obviously have tons of different activities and promotions that we've been talking about. I know just scrolling through here right now, there's free bubbler bikes today. It's $4.14 Harley Davidson museum tickets. Similar at this, if you want to buy the historic Milwaukee neighborhood posters, those are only $4.14 today. Helicopter tours are 14% off day. So everyone really gets involved in celebrating this holiday. And I feel like I always get a little, I don't know if emotional is the right word, but my anniversary of moving to Milwaukee is October 10th, 2020. Like, I got back to Wisconsin March of 2020, did not really make the decision that I was going to definitely move back permanently to Wisconsin until that summer. And even then it was like, is it Madison or Milwaukee? Then I just had this inclination that it needed to be Milwaukee, and moved here officially October 10th. And in that 4.5 years, I have the best career I've ever had. I met the love of my life and got married. I own a home, which I never thought I was going to be able to do after living in San Francisco, Los Angeles, and New York City. And so, I don't own it. The bank owns it, but I have a mortgage, so we'll go with that. Obviously, I have my daughter, but it's just, for me, I am so attached to Milwaukee because on moving here, my life has only gotten better and better every year as far as the people I get to work with, the work I get to do, the people I am friends with, and the way that they show up, and the community I have in Milwaukee. And I think that's testament to the people of Wisconsin and the people in Milwaukee. And after living in such big cities where there is a rat race and you feel transient and you don't really feel like you're a part of something, being here, getting to work on this radio station, like, I certainly feel like I have been embedded into the community and the culture of this place, and I'm so proud to be here. And I really have no plans on ever leaving. So that's why I love 414 Day. And now, news.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Up first, President Trump says his administration is looking at the legality of sending U.S. citizens who are convicted of crimes to prisons in El Salvador or other places. president made the comment as he hosted El Salvador's president at the White House, whose nation has a notoriously huge prison.
Well, they'd love to have a criminal, released into
I mean, there's a fascination.
They would love it. They're sick. These are sick people.
El Salvador's president, when asked, said he would not return a man wrongfully deported to his country's prison, as a federal judge has directed and the U.S. Supreme Court unanimously upheld. The man accused of firebombing the Pennsylvania governor's mansion in Harrisburg Saturday night posted on social media disdain for Presidents Biden and Trump, says a source familiar with the police. Wall Street is no exception, as stock market indexes worldwide have risen after President Trump relaxed some tariffs. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 2:31. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story, City of Madison looking for a new city clerk. The city clerk, Mary Beth Witzel-Bell, was on administrative leave after the City of Madison was investigating nearly 200 uncounted absentee ballots during the November election. City Attorney Michael Haas will continue to serve as acting clerk until they find a replacement. CEO of Molson Coors announces he's going to retire. Gavin Hattersley will retire at the end of the year. He's been the president for 6 years, but has been in the beer industry for nearly 30. The board is launching a search to identify and appoint the next CEO. A bus driver with the Milwaukee County Transit System is in the hospital after a crash this morning in Oak Creek. Happened near Hull and College. No passengers were on the bus at the time. The cause is still under investigation. Time for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything up more than 1%. Dow up 439, S&P 500 up 63, NASDAQ up 183. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Let's take a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver. Traffic, 794 East at 94 East. Right shoulder's blocked because there is a disabled vehicle. Seems like it's still not slow going at all. People are going at a very good clip. Disabled vehicle on the ramp from 76 to 4143 894 East. There are some slowdowns there I can see. Everything else is good. Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Wet snowflakes possible tonight. It'll be windy with a low of 38. Showers tomorrow morning are possible. It'll be sunny and breezy then, a high of 50 degrees. Sunny Wednesday with a high of 49. A chance of thunderstorms Thursday. The high will be 57 degrees. Chance of showers and storms Friday. The high will be 65 degrees. Right now in Madison, it's mostly cloudy and 56 degrees. Cloudy in Waukesha at 61 degrees. And in Milwaukee, it's 57 degrees. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 2:33.
Meet Alan, who was diagnosed with sleep apnea.
I was what they called a mouth breather, and I would breathe at night with my mouth open.
And for about 8 years, Alan struggled with a CPAP machine. And then
I saw the Advent commercial, and I thought, well, what do you got to lose? This machine is miserable.
For most people, CPAP machines are miserable, but a simple breathing triangle solution from Advent can be life-changing.
And it really was, to me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. After having one of Advent's simple breathing triangle procedures, people are amazed at how freely and clearly they can breathe.
I'm happy with the procedure. I'm very glad I did it. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago. I could have avoided that machine I had to have laying next to the bed with the hose wrapped around my head.
Schedule your appointment at adventknows.com because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Tell us a little bit about Innovative Signs.
We're located out in Waukesha. Where we are really focused mostly is manufacturing outdoor electrical signs.
You came to Horicon Bank. How do you think other local businesses can benefit?
When I call, Michelle picks up the phone, and when I email, she responds in a timely manner. A few years ago, I talked to my accountant about shopping around looking for a different bank just to get some alternatives, and he said, absolutely not. You're not going to like working for a big bank. They have a lot more regulations. So that's how we got involved with Cornerstone Bank. When Horicon purchased Cornerstone, we came along for the ride, and it's been great.
For those with a warm weather fashion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristin Brey, and you may have heard of a certain section at Lambeau Field called Section Yellow because for alcoholics, being sober at a sporting event can feel impossible, especially at a Packers game for anyone who's gotten to go to a Packers game. But Section Yellow, which is not so new anymore, was created by sober Packers fans for sober Packers fans. And now it sounds like they have some NFL draft update. And so joining us now on the phone is founder of Section Yellow, John Plagaman. Welcome to the show, John.
Hello. Hello. Great to be here.
Great to have you. So I guess if people are unfamiliar, despite all the press that you guys have gotten over the last couple of years, remind us what Section Yellow is.
Sure. So in 2019, we approached the Packers to have a very simple, a table, 2 chairs, and 2 people that have been sober for a long time or are in recovery or are supportive of people who are sober, and we call them sober allies. And we're just at the game just to have a presence there to make it more comfortable for people that are coming to the game for the first time, for the 100th time, who are either newly sober or have been sober for a long time. I've had some friends who will absolutely not go to, big diehard Packer fans that will not go to Lambeau Field because of their sobriety and the trigger that it could cause of being at Lambeau.
So as far as you had 2019, it's now 2025. And what are some of the ways you guys have grown since that first season?
So the relationship we have with the Packers have been amazing. We approach them every year and see how we can take another step. So now we've grown from a table to we also have a kiosk. So that's cool in winter games because we get the wind to block us from those cold temperatures because it is freezing in the concourse than it is out in the bowl when you have body heat to keep each other warm. So we have a kiosk, we have a table. We also give out water the first 2 cases. That was pretty cool. The Packers and their vendor donate 2 cases of water so we can at least hand that out. And we also have the fourth quarter, which, there's no alcohol served during the fourth quarter, so we call that Section Yellow's quarter. And we give out yellow balloons to everybody that comes up to the table. And then at the beginning of the fourth quarter, you start seeing yellow balloons slowly bounce around Lambeau Field, and that's kind of a new tradition at Lambeau. And that's a silent statement of somebody going, I'm sober, I'm here in 80,000 people, and there's somebody sober here. And then you see you're not alone with all the other balloons going around.
Absolutely. And in any given game, how many people do you think come up to the kiosk?
We have about 50 sober fans that are either know of us and are on our Facebook group and know that we're there and come up to the table, just kind of touch base and take some pictures and stuff. And then the coolest part about volunteering and working the table is we have people that just stumble upon us that are newly in recovery or have been sober for like 30 years, and this is the first time them hearing about us.
Very cool. All right, so obviously we're on the countdown, 10 days until the draft is coming to Green Bay, and you have some big news. What do you guys have planned for the draft while they're there?
It gives me goosebumps to even be a part of the NFL draft. I mean, that we actually have.
Did you ever think, as a Brown County resident, that the draft would be coming to Green Bay?
No, but this is huge because this is our Super Bowl, and this can open up for bigger events like maybe a music festival. If it's not the Super Bowl, there could be some big stuff going on in Green Bay and in the state of Wisconsin. So we approached, and with the help of the Green Bay Packers, we approached the NFL, and they were all jazzed up about this. They, ironically enough, and this isn't a surprise, they never thought about addressing the sober fans. Remember, we're a fan experience. So we want to give the fans just as amount of energy and support and just good vibes that we can. So when we approach them about the draft, they're like, wow, we never thought of that. This could be a new template for future drafts to have this type of environment there. So we still have our table in the concourse because, as you know, and maybe you don't, the concourse will be open during the draft. Part of the bowl will be open during the draft, not the whole bowl. I believe it will be at least the northwest or the northeast side. And then we have a tent.
Oh.
We have a big, huge tent. We have an area of 20 by 40 That's a little sober oasis in the sea of beer and booze, and we have I think it's 16 by 16 tent where we'll have a TV in there. We got some yard games. We're going to bring cribbage. We're going to bring our Wisconsin games there. And it's interesting because this is kind of a sober hub.
Yeah.
And I have volunteers from all over the state coming. It's like a pilgrimage of service for people to come and volunteer 3 to 4 hours at the draft.
Oh, that is so cool. So it's basically just a touch point for anyone who's coming to the draft, be able to check in, meet some other sober people, have other things to do besides drink.
Yes. So, like with me, I plan on going to the draft on Thursday night. And, unless you're really upfront and you have the VIP $3,000 tickets or somebody that knows somebody, you're going to be in the way back. So if I'm in the back with the regular folks, there's going to be a lot of drinking there. And, there may be a time where I just don't want to be around that anymore. So you know what? I got a spot. I can go back to the tent, chill out, be around other sober people, and just relax. And the cool part is at 4 p.m. every day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we are going to have a gratitude meeting, which is an open meeting. It's not an AA or Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous thing. It's just a general gratitude meeting of people that can just share what their feelings are, what their experience is. And it's cool to be around this big group because they do this at the concerts during set breaks. That's what I learned from it. And you really get to see how people can just share from their words and their emotions of what's going on with them.
Well, that is so cool. So if people want more information, I guess where's the tent going to be located for anyone who's planning on going?
Perfect. Between the Bellin and Quick Trip Gate. So once again, I believe that is the northwest side of the stadium on Ridge and Lombardi. So we'll be right between the Bellin and Quick Trip Gate.
All right, are you going to have the yellow balloons as decoration so people can find you?
No, we can't. We don't do the yellow balloons in the concourse because when they blow up, they sound like an explosive.
Got it.
But outside, yes.
Okay.
You will see a lot of yellow balloons. And here's the interesting thing. We gave preliminary designs to the NFL, which they have a partner in California that they use to set up all this stuff. We don't know what it looks like yet, but it's supposed to be, pretty slick. It's supposed to be pretty interesting of what this is going to look like. So what I've heard from the people is you will not miss it.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. Where can people get more information, both about Section Yellow during the season or in the upcoming NFL draft festivities?
Wonderful, Kristin. So they can always go to Facebook. We have a Facebook Section Yellow group. We also have a Sober Green Bay page. I also made a Sober NFL Facebook page. You can also go to sectionsober.com or one of our new partners, recovery.com out of Madison. And they'll have all the information and lead you where you need to go to get in touch with us.
All right. Sounds great. I'm so excited to hear how it goes.
Yeah, very cool.
Thanks so much for joining us today, John.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on. You take care, Kristin.
Absolutely. Have fun next week. John Plagman is the founder of Section Yellow, which is the sober group for sober Packer fans at Lambeau. And when we come back, we'll do more.
Hey, boaters! At Kendor Marine, we have everything you could want, think of, or wish for your boat. We're committed to making sure you always have a place to fulfill every boating need that you have. And if you ask around, you'll find out our prices always beat the other guys. This is Dave Doro from Kendor Marine. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water. Hey, boaters!
This is Dave Doro from Kendor Marine. And hey, boaters love shopping here. How do I know? Well, most times it's because they tell me, Dave, I love shopping here. But other times it's because they tell you. If you need a reason to come here, just check out our online reviews. They tell the whole story. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Burghardt.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years from their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee. Their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Hey, Easter's almost here. WTMJ's John Mercure. I highly recommend the Easter Sunday brunch at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. It's one of the truly special family dining events of the year. Do it at a very special place. My favorite place, the Fox and Hounds. The food is world class. Everything you love for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, including prime rib and an entire room of homemade desserts. It's all you care to eat, and kids and grandkids under 3, they eat for free. Sip on a delicious old-fashioned bourbon or over 100 fine wines as you dine in one of the Fox and Hounds' 8 elegant dining rooms, maybe a mimosa. The Fox and Hounds, tucked into the Kettle Moraine Forest just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. The spring drive is spectacular. So do not cook, do not clean on Easter Sunday. Relax and enjoy your family and grandkids. The Fox and Hounds friendly staff will serve you. Call and reserve today as tables fill quickly. You'll love the Easter Sunday brunch, the Fox and Hounds.
All right, so over the weekend, not that anyone in Wisconsin, well, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if many people from Wisconsin traveled to the first weekend of Coachella. It was the first weekend of Coachella. I, despite having lived in California for as long as I did, have never been to Coachella. I've also never been to Burning Man. And now I don't think I will probably ever do either. There was a hot second I really thought I would do Burning Man. Like when I was like, there's a couple times, like 18 years old, I almost went, which would have been wild. I think 22, 23, I almost went. And then now at this point, I think my time has passed for doing those things. But Bernie Sanders showed up at Coachella, and it got me. He addressed the crowd. I don't even know who this artist is. Rhea, do you know who Claro is?
Yeah.
Claro? Is she?
I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah.
Should I know who she is? Is she pretty popular?
Like right now, I can't name a song, but you would know if you heard it.
So he showed up, and I don't know, I haven't heard his speech yet, but I was trying to think as far as Summerfest goes. Like, if Bernie were to show up at Summerfest, like, which would he go in, like, the amphitheater? Like, it's such a weird. It's a weird move. It's like a very different vibe, I would say, despite having, because I think he was in Los Angeles. He and AOC were in Los Angeles, and they had another really big turnout for a rally. But I feel like to show up before a music thing is be like, hello, we gotta fight the oligarchy.
It's on brand. He's for the youths,
I guess. But as I was trying to think of like what politicians would we want to see in front of Summerfest, but it's also Summerfest is just such a different vibe than Coachella. Even despite having never been there, I have enough friends and I have seen enough pictures that it's interesting to think of Summerfest as just never being that. It's not Bonnaroo. It's not Coachella. It's not even Lollapalooza. Or any of these, sought after, very expensive festivals. But you had some thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a politician to come, I would love Bernie to come.
Would you?
Yeah, I would. If I knew he was going, he would probably draw me out to go to
Would
Summerfest.
You have gone? Did you want to go to when he was here recently in Kenosha?
So that's a little too far. I had to plan that out, and I was like, all right. And
You're like, I'll go if he's going to be at Summerfest.
He's in my backyard. Like,
I'm from Racine, but going to Kenosha, it's too far. Too far. God.
But yeah, if he came, or AOC came, or even Kamala, or Crockett came, I would love to see them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But what were your takeaways as far as thinking about Coachella as compared to Summerfest?
It's so blown up, and there's so many influencers there, and I just wonder, like, if it's based on the headliner. I know I've talked to you before about me not going to Summerfest, and it's for me, it's like whoever's performing is just not big enough to get me outside.
I think we're learning more about you and your homebodiness more than anything as far as a indictment on Summerfest. Is there anyone coming this summer for Summerfest that you're excited about?
There were a few, but like if I'm booked to perform, I'll go. If I'm not booked to perform, I'll
dance.
think about it. Yeah.
But just regardless of how cheap it is, relatively cheap, right? It is. I mean, even tickets to the amphitheater shows are so wildly more affordable than I was reading about this. The fact that so many people are on payment plans in order to go to festivals now is wild. So basically, the majority of 2025 Coachella general admission attendees used a payment plan to attend. This is according to a Billboard report. Recession indicator? Maybe. Yeah. Evidence of bad financial literacy? Definitely. But yeah, because it's basically the 3-day general admissions pass starts for Coachella at $649.
See, no.
And that does not even, and it's gone up every year. So the same pass cost $429 in 2020, $375 in 2015. And so that doesn't include lodging or transportation or food or your outfits or any of the other extracurriculars that you plan on doing. Like, it's just ticket to entry. And that's where it starts. And I agree. Like, it's like you probably can see a lot of these people just throughout the year, or some of them you can come pay like $20. I don't know. But like, that's the thing. And that's like, it's so different than Summerfest because in Summerfest, the joke is if you can't get a free Summerfest ticket, are you really from Milwaukee? Because there's so many different opportunities to get a free ticket, at least for the general admission to walk around. Mm-hmm. Obviously, for the amphitheater, it's different. But it's just such on the other extreme than these super expensive, highly sought after festivals. And it is interesting because when you live elsewhere, so many people in this country have never heard of Summerfest and wouldn't think about traveling here for it.
See, but I would pay that much to go to a Coachella or ACL or Lala.
Would you?
Yeah, because I know I'm going to see multiple artists that I'm interested in.
All in one.
All in one or all within one weekend. So I would budget enough or maybe do a payment plan. I'm not opposed to it. But to go see that because it's going to be the full weekend and I would enjoy it. But for me, Summerfest, there's not enough draw from the artists that are there. And I think that's the one thing that separates Summerfest from these major music festivals.
Is who we're getting. Yeah. It's also just set up because no one's camping at Summerfest.
No.
They're camping at State Fair, though.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, don't go on a payment plan. Just save up.
Festival.
Yes,
I mean,
don't be that person.
I would never be out there that way. But if I had to, I would.
All right. We got to do this, and then we'll come back and start wrapping it up on Spanning the State.
When we're out in your town, come say hi as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be.
You can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Heiser Automotive Group is making it rain with ultimate savings. It's our April shower splash sale, and we're washing away high prices so you can drive off in the car of your dreams at an unbeatable price. Enjoy our exclusive Safe and Sound experience where peace of mind comes standard, rain or shine. Plus, check out our seasonal service specials to keep your vehicle ready for every spring adventure. Hurry, these savings won't last long. Visit Heiser.com today and drive away with a deal that'll have you singing in the rain.
Dealer for complete details.
What would your community be like without UW-Madison? The UW is one of the country's leading hubs for supporting life-changing research. UW-Madison helps make a healthier Wisconsin, build strong businesses, and win the war for workforce talent, not just in Madison, but across our entire state. Visit uwalumni.com/UW5 to tell your legislators to support UW-Madison in the Wisconsin state budget. That's uwalumni.com/UW5. Paid for by the Wisconsin Alumni Association.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickert. One of our senior loan consultants recently helped their first-time homebuyer client win over 13 other offers. Of course, it was a team effort with their buyer's agent, and it centered around helping our clients understand what little difference there was to their monthly payment to offer over the asking price. And again, what little difference it would make to give the sellers peace of mind that they'd still buy even if the appraisal came in up to $20,000 short. But that's not all. Our consultant also texted and called the listing agent to reinforce how well qualified our buyers were and that they could, in fact, still close even if the appraisal came in low. Your Accunet consultant will help you understand your options so you can decide how aggressive you want to be. Then we do everything possible to help you win. Don't let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Know your options and get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Steel walk behind, zero turn, and stand on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel. Let's go mow.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
I believe it's time for me to fly.
All right, we gotta go. Wisconsin's Afternoon News is next. We'll be here tomorrow for our last show of Spanning the State, because if you've missed it, as of Wednesday, the 16th, there is going to be a new lineup. I will be on with Steve Scafidi from 10 to noon every day for a new show called Point Taken. And Spanning the State will be going away. So tomorrow's our last day. It's crazy. All right, but for now, we got to pass the torch to John and Julia for Wisconsin's Afternoon News. See ya.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI